From confessions of killings and injuries all the way to stories of revenge and invasions of privacy, this list is full of confessions that will make you question everyone around you. Are people really as innocent as they seem? What dark secrets could they be hiding? Let's figure that out as we cover the top 10 disturbing Reddit confessions that will make you lose sleep. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have the true crime confession. Okay, this story is absolutely wild, and I'm surprised that I hadn't heard of it before because it actually happened quite close to here in Toronto. Back in 2017, a man made a very long and very disturbing Reddit post that basically was a story of what he claimed had happened the night before. Basically, this man was wanted for allegedly taking the life of his girlfriend, and as he fled from his crimes, he took to Reddit to describe what he claims happened. Police had found his girlfriend who had been harmed in her apartment, and while the man didn't claim to have nothing to do with it, he just claimed that it was self-defense and that it happened after the pair had some kind of an argument. It seems as though this Reddit post helped authorities to locate him because he had actually fled the country and gone down to Texas. Really not a good look. A Reddit confession and you fled the country? Buddy, you're guilty. Police were able to catch up with him though, and he was arrested in Texas before being extradited back here to Canada. As of now, he still remains in custody. His trial was supposed to happen last year, but it was postponed and will likely take place this year in 2023. It's pretty crazy to see how this horrifying confession on Reddit really was real. It really makes you question the scary stuff you see posted on the site. In our number 9 spot today, we have the Twisted Love story. This Reddit post was made by someone with the username AshDelete, and it is about a confession that they can remember seeing posted to the site. They explained that the confession was from, quote, a guy who confessed that he stalked a girl for a year, hacked her love interest's computer, planted a load of evidence that love interest had been stalking her and was into a bunch of weird and creepy stuff, revealed it to the girl, helped the girl to get a restraining order on love interest, used that as his way in with the girl, and eventually married her. ... What the actual I mean, come on, that is absolutely insane. What a confession! There are obviously a million and one things wrong with this, but I just have one main question. What would you have done if she found out? Like, surely this guy had to have thought at some point that it couldn't have worked, right? The betrayal of trust is insanely high in this one. It's absolutely unbelievable. In our number 8 spot today, we have the Horrifying Photos. If you're a Reddit user, you'll likely know that Reddit never forgets. What I mean by this is a lot of the time, crazy Reddit stories stick with people who often end up retelling them later about that crazy Reddit post you once saw, and sometimes they even come in with a receipt. Basically, this Reddit post is one of those. It was the recounting of a horrible Reddit incident, and it was retold by Cap Combrick. Basically, they start off by explaining that there was a guy who posted on a specific sub asking if he should kill his girlfriend. A bunch of people responded saying yes, which is almost as creepy as the initial question, but I can imagine many people figured that the post was just some kind of a troll. Turns out, however, that it absolutely was not, and what happened next is so horrific. The original poster then responded with pictures of the crime he committed after he took the life of his girlfriend. Apparently this story ended up making the news, which, I mean, I would hope so, but I'm not entirely sure what the outcome of it was. At the end of the post by Cap Combrick, they just remember seeing this posting and how it made them feel sick to their stomach. In our number 7 spot today, we have the revenge. Someone with the username RubaBetutu posted on Reddit recalling a confession that they once saw posted from a Venezuelan Redditor. This serious confession was basically from someone who claimed that they had taken the life of someone who had harmed this person's girlfriend. Apparently it was a bad time politically, which made him feel like justice wouldn't be carried out for a multitude of reasons. This isn't a good excuse, it's the reason he used to justify what he was about to do. He detailed all of the aspects of the crime, how he found him, took him to a remote house, and the actual crime itself. He also explained what he did after, which he claimed was to place the body in a river, like it was some sort of twisted movie scene. The original confession has since been deleted, presumably for the original poster to protect themselves, but this person recounting the confession remembers them explaining that the entire crime left them feeling pretty apathetic and really nonchalant, which is definitely a scary thought. You'd think that something like that would leave them feeling something, but instead it was just nothingness. In our number 6 spot today, we have the keys. This is one confession that might have you second guessing who you trust enough to lend a key to your home to. Is that friend really as trustworthy as you think they are? Posted onto r/confession by user UJRJ, they wrote, quote, "Whenever anyone lets me borrow a key, usually to their house in order to pet sit, the first thing I do is to go to Walmart and make a copy of that key for personal use after they ask for it back. I never break into houses and steal anything, other than food or maybe alcohol, but I love the feeling of being able to effortlessly enter a place I know I don't belong without anyone's knowledge. I have keys to multiple people's houses and a couple of buildings/garages from my old job." Okay. Firstly, I just have to mention that they mark this as a light confession. Like, it's not too serious. This person is just regularly committing B&Es like it's their job. I definitely wouldn't call this a light confession. In fact, it's made me skeptical of every single person I've ever given any key to. Also, I like that they say that they never break into houses and steal anything, except for the stuff that they steal. It's been 4 years since their post, and I wonder if they got caught yet. In our number 5 spot today, we have the bunker. This confession was posted to Reddit by someone with the username throwaway2150091, and that is how you know it's going to be a juicy one, when they create an entire new throwaway account just for the post. Their confession reads, quote, "2.5 years ago, I was in dire financial straits, so I sold my home to keep my struggling business afloat. I neglected to tell the owners that they have an 800 square foot bunker on the property that I built about 7 years ago. The bunker that I've called home since I sold it. The entrance to it is well hidden, but I still come and go very early/very late in the day. I'm a single man who keeps to himself. I'm now in a situation where I could move somewhere else, but I love this hidden paradise so much." Okay, first things first, at least this guy isn't like sinister or anything, you know, he's not looking to harm anybody. But that being said, this confession very much gives me like Parasite vibes, you know? Like, imagine one day you just get up extra early to go to the airport or something, and suddenly you see the man who sold you the house just emerging from a spot in the ground you never knew was there. That is absolutely nightmare fuel. Whoever this person is, they posted this confession 11 years ago, and I have never wanted an update so badly. Does he still live there? Has he ever been found out? I just wish I knew. In our number 4 spot today, we have the Watcher. This confession is a little different. This is someone posting on Reddit about something someone confessed to them in real life. And man, just like the whole house key copy thing, this story is going to make you question those around you. Reddit user Susan Says wrote, quote, "I had a friend confess that every time he stayed at my apartment, which was frequently because we lived in different countries, sometimes he would stay for over a month at a time, he watched me sleep. I woke up with him staring at me. He was literally inches away from my face just staring, and I freaked out. He broke down and confessed. My husband was asleep next to me. That was the most creepy for sure. It also ended our friendship." Yeah, I would guess that someone secretly watching you sleep for who knows how long is probably not a great way to continue a friendship. Just the idea of it gives me shivers. It reminds me of the horror movie Creep with Mark Duplass and Patrick Bryce. You've seen it? It's so weird. After this video, I just feel like I might never have anyone over to my house ever again, just to feel some semblance of safety. Apparently, you really never know. In our number 3 spot today, we have the Frappuccino. Okay, this is one Reddit confession that may not be too bad on the surface, but when you really think about it, it's actually super dangerous. Someone with the Reddit name Super Slimy Slime posted a confession that read, quote, "I know this sounds weird, but when I worked at Starbucks, there was a regular customer that was very difficult and rude. I was warned of this customer on my first day of training. She came in every morning and would try to rush the workers on doing their job and makes other customers feel uncomfortable. 3 months into working, she came in one morning and caused absolute hell. She was complaining about her drink while one of my coworkers was making the drink. As soon as she got it, she accidentally spills it and asks for a completely different drink. I was so fed up. She wanted a Frappuccino. She went to the bathroom while we were making the new order. I switched with my coworker and made the drink. Instead of almond milk, I made the Frappuccino with regular milk. The drink was ready by the time she left the bathroom. She takes the drink, takes a sip, and didn't complain. 5 hours hours later, she calls the Starbucks from the hospital, and I was the one who picked up. She got in a car accident trying to rush to the bathroom. She said she had an accident in her pants. I'm editorializing. They used a different word that I can't say. I couldn't be any more happier that she was safe but got her karma. I'm just gonna say it. This could have gone so much more wrong in so many ways. The allergic reaction could have been worse, or the accident could have been. Like I said, at first it seems like just switching the milk and it isn't really a huge deal, but it really is, especially when food and drink service is your job. In our number 2 spot today, we have the accident. So for this one, we all have to be on the same page with what confession bear is. You know, there's like that meme of the sullen looking sun bear, and people started using that photo because it's so cute. They just add some text and confess to something. Like, it's funny when the confession is something small or light, but things on the internet can quickly turn dark, and this meme was no exception. The confession was reposted by someone called Jeff the Nurse, and they wrote, quote, "I remember when a guy used confession bear to say that he was supposed to cheat with his new wife's best friend and waited for her in a hotel, but she died in a car accident on the way there." Alright, it's quite the confession, and probably not one that I'd use a meme for. I was thinking confession bear was more for like, I forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer after my mom asked, not like something horrible happened while I was waiting to do something horrible. I guess everybody deals with things differently though. In our number 1 spot today, we have the fall guy. This is definitely one of the most disturbing confessions I've ever read. And it's very long, but the TLDR version of it is that this person committed a hit and run where someone was seriously injured and they let their own brother go to prison over it. Yeah, wish I was lying. The confession was posted by random5172, and basically the story goes that they were drinking one night, claimed they weren't drunk, but they still went on to commit a hit and run, so I'm not so convinced. They returned home and the next morning got their kid ready and off school when their brother noticed the damage on the car and asked if there was something they needed to talk about. The original poster confessed to her brother about what had happened, and this is when the plan came in. They spent a few hours talking about it, and the brother offered to take the fall because he already had a bit of a criminal history while his sister didn't, and because he had no kids while the sister clearly did. He offered to go in her place because he didn't want his nephews growing up without their mom. They concocted a story, told some people this new fake story, including some friends who they figured would be able to testify about the panicked confession when it came to court, and it turned out everyone bought it. The trial happened, the brother was sentenced, and at the time of the confession, the brother was still in jail about halfway through his sentence. They end their confession by explaining that they thought after some time their guilt and that cinder block feeling would go away, but they've come to find it hasn't. They wrote, quote, "It's never going away. I have to carry the woman's pain, my brother's pain, my father's pain, and the pain of everyone who doesn't have my brother in their life because of me. And I figure that's the least I deserve." So that's it. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Bye!